Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and Civilization Rising Tide, playing as the North Sea Alliance. It's been at least a couple of days since I last recorded. I kind of need to resituate myself a little bit as to what has happened. Let's see, I noticed we have taken a city from Chengsu. We're still moving around a little bit with Fjarin. Is it Fjarin? I don't know, somebody who knows a little bit more of the Scandinavian dialect. Go ahead and clue me in on that. I fully acknowledge that I will undoubtedly butcher your language unless I am otherwise corrected. Alright, so, what do we want to do? Not a lot right now. I think I can't see any glaring issues with my civilization setup. We'll probably just want to move on to the next turn. Cool beans. Yeah, it's been a few days since I last recorded. I usually record in some small batches of like 2-3 episodes at a time, give it a little time for the episodes to catch up on YouTube. Just so I can stay a little bit more up to date with any feedback that I am getting. Speaking of feedback, actually that does remind me, I want to extend a personal thanks to a commenter named JD for explaining something to me. So I did point out in a couple videos ago that the Civilopedia did a terrible job of explaining what city development was because, well, I didn't understand how a civilization like Alpha could possibly exist with city development if it's not a well-defined feature in the game. Well, it is actually defined, not very clearly by Firaxis, but JD did explain it to me. So, a feature that I very rarely have used, in fact, I don't think I've ever used in Civilization Beyond Earth, is this system down here, developments. There it is. Don't know how I missed it, but there it is. In Civilization, I think it's called something else. Not really sure what. But basically what you can do is spend some of your production toward a indefinite project instead of building a specific building or unit. I could just set all my development toward a research development, and 25% of my production will be converted into science. And just leave that for as long as I so well desire. Again, in Civ 5, I think it's called something else, but in Civilization Beyond Earth, it is called developments. So this is what they are referring to when the game talks about city development. So again, thank you to JD for pointing that out. Obviously, that comes with its own strategical implications for the Alpha civilization or sponsor. Not really sure if it's something I would ever use. I literally have never used that function ever since I got Civilization Beyond Earth, so Alpha Law doesn't sound like a race that I probably would ever make use of, but it's good to know what it means. It is good to know what Alpha Law would be able to do. It looks like we're gaining a bit of respect with the Americans, or the American Reclamation Corporation, because we are expanding. They think rather aggressively, I think fairly moderately, but nonetheless. Let's choose some production. Do we want an auto plant? 3 production would be nice. We would get additional energy from trade routes, which I do believe we actually have a trade route coming from the city. Or is it going to Fjarin? Remember once upon a time I was debating whether or not I wanted to send it to Camp Cascade. I don't think I ever actually did, though. Nonetheless, the Vivarium will only take 3 turns, and I wouldn't mind getting a little extra food in the city, so let's go ahead and do that. What do we have as far as covert ops? I have an idle operative in this city. Now, I believe we wanted to get to Steel Science in order to finish off a mission, but we're not quite at a high enough intrigue level yet. So, do we have a network established? Not sure if we do. I can't really remember what we finished last, so let's go ahead and do that just to be safe. We probably should consider upgrading one of our personal traits, so let's look at that. Oh, look! Our uniform is changing a little bit because we are drifting a bit more toward harmony. It's not looking quite as alien as some of the outfits I have seen, but it is there. Do we want better health? Do we want better production for military units? Or do we want combat strength? Let's go ahead and go for the 5 global health. Global health is probably a good thing. Did I get it? I think I got it. It wasn't very clear. I would think that Firaxis would want to include a confirmation window. Are you sure you want to spend 290 diplomatic capital on this new upgrade? But it doesn't do that, so... And if you have your sound turned down, you don't really notice otherwise. Oh, look! Our cities are starting to change in their aesthetic a little bit as well, to match with harmony. That's kind of cool. I've always thought that was a really nice feature in Civilization Rising Tide, or Beyond Earth as a general rule. One thing I do want to look at, though, let's take a quick look at Daoming Sochua in the Pan-Asian Cooperative, and let's change our relationship. Would you be willing to work toward Allied? No, you do not have quite enough respect for me to up our relationship to Allied. I would like to do that, I think. That could be good. You know, have her join in on wars, boost up our agreements a little bit, so we get 3 culture and 3 production from every strategic resource. That would be good. But we're not quite there yet, so let's just hope at some point we get another boost in our respect with the Pan-Asian Cooperative. If we don't, oh well, we'll be fine, but it would be nice. It would be a nice thing. I do want to apologize, by the way, if I'm sounding a little bit slow of thought today, slow of thought and slow of speech. It is, as the day of recording, the 2-month anniversary mark of my marriage with my wife. We did decide to drink a little bit. I am currently sitting down with a nice chilled glass of Gewürztraminer wine. It's delicious. And while I am certainly not drunk, and I would not advocate that in any way, shape, or form, it does tend to have a little bit of a mental effect on me right now. I'm not feeling energetic like I would if I had drinking something like beer. I'm just feeling a little bit slower, a little bit calm, and just overall feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good right now. It's no doubt about it. Intruder alert. Let's take another pot shot at this sea dragon, which so arrogantly believes that it can continue to wander around in my borders. And actually, we can take a quick look at the city itself. So the city, aquatic cities, are also starting to develop some harmony, aesthetic in their building structure. Kinda cool. I was wondering what that would look like. Gotta admit, though, I think that this looks kinda weird on an aquatic city. Maybe supremacy or purity would look a little bit better, but this just seems kinda unusual to me. Whatever. It's probably fine. It's not a big deal at the end of the day. It's purely aesthetic. But, you know what? Aesthetics are important in a video game. At least I believe. So, alright. Let's set this guy to alert. There's the hotkey I was looking for. Looks like Chung-Su declared war on the American Reclamation Corporation. Why would you do that? Chung-Su has been declaring war on literally everybody, I think. Man, he's not going to make any friends at all. He's going to get picked on a lot as a kid. Ugh. Alright, fine. Well, let's go ahead and move this worker over into this forest. We'll start clearing out the miasmas, chopping down a forest, get some extra farms or production. Hey, we found another floating alien structure. Not that it poses of any particular use to me, but it is there. Now, this is interesting to me. So, integer, I believe, has a bonus to agreements. I think, don't quote me on that, I could be wrong, but I believe that integer does have a bonus to their agreements. That is like their personality trait, their special trait as integer itself. And it looks to me like I will get 4 diplomatic capital instead of typically 9 per turn for private arms development. So it's not really as good with integer. Integer does not make for as nice of an agreement partner as anybody else. I mean, it's good to have somebody. You know, I mean, it's not like I have a limit to how many private arms development agreements I'm allowed to hand out. Sure, I'll hand out as many as I can get, sure. And I want to be on good terms with the Germans, sure. Why not? But it's just interesting to me. So having integer on site does not mean that they are going to be a good trade partner. We did discover an alien nest right next to Fjaren. Let's go ahead and send our Tide Hunter off in that general direction. Our agent has arrived in Central, which is the Ark capital. So let's see, you got a little bit of chitin, and not much else. Kind of a sparse capital city, not gonna lie. Let's establish a network in this general vicinity. Choose production for Deep Castle. Do we want... reduced by a percentage equal to this city's population. So if I got the Guopu Yaolan, however you say that, I would get, currently, a 9% discount on all virtues. I mean, that's pretty substantial. A 10% reduction would be almost 70 culture reduction. So if I were able to build this, then yeah, that would be enough right now to get me another culture. I mean, it's a good thing to get. Also, additional diplomatic capital. We know how much I love that. That said, though, let's go ahead and get ourselves a Pharma Lab and try to push ourselves to the next tier of health. Currently, we are getting 12% production from cities, minus 14% intrigue in cities, and 2% science. The more health we have, the better that bonus is going to be, so why not? Let's go ahead and get ourselves an auto plant. I think that is useful. Alien nest discovered up here to the north. I must have a cruiser. Yeah, I can barely see his icon because of the blue, but yeah, it's here. These aliens are not especially pleased with me. I should tell you to stop auto-exploring and get out of there for a little bit. It looks like Integer has decided to go ahead and expand a couple of times out on the ocean. Weltgeist is the capital city. Weisheit and Demut, I think? I don't know. I will not pretend to be fluent in any other grammar other than English. I mean, really not. My army size, suggesting analyzing cost-to-benefit of the size of your military pronto. So I'm losing respect with Ark and Chungsu for not having a larger military. Everyone seems to think that I should have a better military. Why? I would certainly think that you wouldn't want me to have a really good military, but you're actively encouraging me to do it. Why? That just seems silly. Create a trade route from Hikima Station. How do I create a trade route from Hikima Station? I don't own Hikima Station. I can create one to Hikima Station, but I can't create one from Hikima Station. That just seems silly. Let's kill off that sea dragon. Go ahead and clear out some miasma. I think that'll take 3 turns. Let's get rid of this nest. Where's the pillage option? Shift P. Ooh, we got an artifact. A jelly stalk ring. What the heck is a jelly stalk? A cross-section of a large tree-like organism. You know, it did sort of look a little bit like a tree rings effect going on in here, but still, a jelly stalk, one of the more alien of alien life forms encountered on any exoplanet, blah, blah, blah. Let's view it in the library. What would we get with this? We would get 48 food. If I were to combine these two, we would get 67.2 food and 48 science. If I were to combine with this, we would ooh! So it looks like we can actually combine artifacts from a few various different... Ooh, wow! We can create, mix and match the artifacts from several different categories and gain completely different traits or buildings. So if I were to mix this as this is currently set up, we would get 25% covert operation speed, swap out the Metalmark Media Cube for a violin, or a cello, or whatever, and we would get the Panspectral Observatory, building unlocked, plus 100 production for orbital units. Wow! That's ridiculous! That basically means that orbital units are, well, just about free, actually. Huh. That's not something I usually make use of. I don't really have much use for orbital units, but still, fascinating. And if we were to do this, we would gain Vapor Shield. All units gain 100% defense when embarked. Not useful to me. What if I mixed and matched this? Wow, Xenoanthropology. Artifacts are discovered 20% more often. Swap these out. We have the Panspectral Observatory again. Let's swap these out. Ground-penetrating LiDAR. I know what LiDAR is. I've actually done a project on LiDAR before for the defense industry. 100% expedition speed. Wow. Not bad, actually. Huh. Not sure I want to do any of those right now, but that is very interesting. Very interesting. Alright. Oh, look, a derelict settlement. We should probably do an expedition on that one. Huh. Alright. Anyway, Ark wants to get reserve army. Makes sense to me because Chungsu is at war with them, so they want to take use of that as much as they can. Let's see, our operation... Let's go ahead and start siphoning some energy off of our ally. Sorry guys, but there is a mission involved. Cloning plant. Xenomass would allow for some extra food, plus we would get some production from the Xenomass that we are currently working. It's okay. It's not great, but it is okay. Launch complex, no. Petrochemical plant, meh. Tidal turbine or xenofuel plant. These are basically exactly the same. Both would result in 4 energy, but this one takes longer to build. Or I could just build a Wonder. I'm going to go ahead and start building the Wonder. Why not? Why not? It may very well be that I'm going to lose respect with everybody, because it turns out that if you build a lot of those, then people for some reason lose respect. You're building too many Wonders. You're too impressive. Slow down! Leave some for the rest of us, they say. Meh, whatever. Agreement cancelled. The Pan-Asian Cooperative once again cannot make up their mind whether or not they want to take advantage of our reserve army. I should probably consider getting some more agreements, honestly. So let's do exactly that. Let's browse all potential agreements. So, science from strategic resources. Goodness, do we want to double down on this whole strategic resources idea? Start getting science from them too? We could do that. Private arms development is an option. Skunk works, field recruitment, special ops. Cities may develop production to health. That's another development, actually. That right there is a city development. That could potentially be very useful for Al-Falah. No. Don't want to do anything with Chung-Su because I actually plan on going to war with them and becoming hostile because that seems to be the diplomatic winner right now. Everybody hates Chung-Su, might as well join them. Do we want trade route population thresholds? Now this is interesting to me. I don't know. Is there a Civilopedia option? Where's the Civilopedia? I keep losing it. There it is. Alright. Trade routes. I want to search for trade routes. And let's see if we can find out anything about what is required or how much population is required in order to gain a trade route. City is limited in the total number of trade routes it can establish by its population. It doesn't say what the formula is, though. Come on. What's the formula? How many population is required in order to have a trade route? Come on. Anything over here? No. Alright, what if we look up population itself? That's not quite what I had in mind. Really? Population just moves me to the population estimation computer. Okay. Well, apparently we're not going to get any help on that at all. Alright. You know what? I think we should go ahead and do it. So currently we have one trade route in Deep Castle. Now, it would make some sense to me if there were like a cap on like 10 population, like a tiered system. Every 10 population you get another trade route. So it's possible that by getting this agreement with Hutama, we will instead start to get it at 7 population instead. So do we want this? It looks promising to me. He is good with that. Okay, excellent. So now we are spending some of our extra stuff. Do we have? No, we don't. And we lost respect with Ark. Apparently they're rivaled, and I was unaware of that. And Integer is unhappy with that as well. It does not appear that we have gained anything from this agreement. Huh. Maybe I need to wait one more turn? Maybe we need to wait one more turn. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Alright. Creative class. Earn extra culture equal to 30% of our net positive health. Well, currently we have 20 health. So, that would be worth what? 6? I think? Yeah, 6 extra culture per turn if we took this particular creative class. We could instead move toward minus 10% culture needed for new virtues, which might be nice. Actually, if we take this before we spend this... Alright, currently need 715 culture in order to progress to the next virtue. If I were to take this, well, I guess I kind of have to spend... never mind. I was going to say, if I take this before I spend my points, but I just realized this is the virtue I'm spending my points on. That's just silly. Okay, but that's pretty good. So it basically comes down to, do I want another 6 culture per turn, or do I want to reduce it by 10%? Probably want to reduce it by 10%. So let's go ahead and do exactly that. Unit needs orders. The Tide Hunter is not doing anything else, so we'll just keep patrolling around the city. Next turn, alien nest discovered. Oh wait, we already know about that. So let's back up and let's kill some aliens, possibly destroy that nest. Now the aliens across the entire world are hostile to me right now, despite the fact that I am running Harmony. I think it's kind of funny how even though you are running as Harmony, it's totally okay to be completely hostile against all alien life forms. Very harmonious indeed. Looks like they made peace. I wasn't aware that Ark and Integer were at war either. Interesting. He wants to be cooperating.
For a price.
Cooperating. Well, I guess now I have kind of a choice to make, don't I? I had thought about attacking Paul Australia at some point, but maybe I shouldn't. Maybe being cooperating is okay. If I do this, I will be upsetting Ark and Integer a bit more. Am I okay with that? Paul Australia is kind of one of my more immediate neighbors. No, I'm not going to accept this right now. That's certainly putting the rude in prudence, don't you think? I guess so. And I appreciate your puns. Kudos to you, but it will not result in an agreement with me. So, there you go. Yeah, okay. Oh, wait, yes, okay, so we do have trade routes. Okay, so now yes, I just had to wait one more turn before that agreement would take effect. And now we do, in fact, have extra trade routes. So, yes, somewhere, maybe it's not 10, but somewhere down the line, we have now crossed the magic threshold that allows us to have extra trade routes. I'm trying to think mathematically how that would work. So we had 9 population before, and that was not worth an extra trade route. That would mean that, let's see, let's suppose I had 12%, or 12 population before. 30% of that would be 3.6. It is possible that I could have up to 12... Okay, so it seems to me that somewhere between 10 and 12 population is what would lead to an extra trade route. I'm not sure which one, but I can ascertain it is probably somewhere in that range. Either way, profits us pretty nicely. That actually means that cooperating with these guys could potentially be a lot more beneficial than I thought. Now that said, just because I improve my relationship with them does not mean that I would gain anything out of it. So for example, if I did want to improve my relationship with them, trade route population thresholds reduced by 40%. Okay, that's nice, except I'm already getting that extra trade route in all my cities from a mere 30%. I don't need to bump up to cooperating in order to take advantage of those benefits. That said, let's go ahead and start training up an extra trade convoy, because trade convoys are excellent in this game. Never underestimate the value of trade routes. They are really powerful in Beyond Earth. Internal trade routes are fantastic, and external trade routes have some pretty nice benefits as well, especially if you're trading with stations. Get some, pick and choose some pretty awesome benefits. Either way, though, I think that's going to have to be enough for this episode, so thank you guys for watching. This has been Pravus with Civilization Rising Tide. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. It does help my growth on YouTube. And I, as always, will see you guys next time.